Welcome back to my channel. My name's Lisa Jane. If you are new here, I would love for you to stick around and subscribe. And if you've come back, I just wholeheartedly can't thank you all enough. I have recently hit 200 subscribers. It's not a lot to many people, but to me it means the world that you are taking the time to watch these videos. Today's video, as you can see by the title, is my birthday book haul. When this video goes up, obviously my birthday will have passed, but I just wanted to show you what I had got. I'm not saying that I won't end up getting a couple more on top of these books, because sometimes money comes in dribs and drabs, and obviously I have kept some, so just in case I see any books in the future. But I have I've done some damage, and I've bought 15 books. Some you will have heard of, definitely, and then there'll be others I'm not so sure, because I think there's one or two that I've found through just my own sort of research and looking into books, and I've not necessarily seen it on YouTube, Instagram or anywhere else. But without further ado, let's just get into the video. So, book number 1 is Lila Sage, Soul Searching. This has been everywhere, and I literally mean everywhere. I think it's like based around the spooky season, and it just says, Collins Cartwright does not want to go home. Sweetwater Peak, Wyoming was supposed to be her rear view mirror, but when she finds out a developer is trying to buy her parents' antique shop, she doesn't have a choice. At least that's what she tells her family. They don't need to know she's lost her job and is out of money, or that the ghosts that have always been her companions have recently gone silent. Brady Cooper is absolutely fine. Seriously, there's no secret why he decided to uproot his life and suddenly move to Sweetwater Peak. He just needed a change of pace, at least that's what he tells himself. But when he agrees to let Collins stay in his spare room, he doesn't realise that she constantly talks to thin air, or that she looks like that. Good thing their arrangement is only temporary, right? So I'm imagining there's going to be some sort of romance in there. But yeah, looking forward to this one. I'm hoping I'm going to get around to it before the end of the year. I still read spooky reads, witchy reads, autumnal reads in the November time. So yeah, who knows? We shall see. And then I bought a couple of autumn books. So again, it's just whether I get round to them. One's called Secrets at Maple Syrup Farm. This was from Sainsbury's. I don't know if it's any good. I've never read from this author before. Her name's Rebecca Raisin. So I don't know too much about it, and I don't want to, because I think sometimes the blurb can spoil the story. And then I've also bought from Sainsbury's Falling for You by Emily Maple. What a lovely name for an autumn book. So, like I say, these have the autumn feels. Whether I get round to them this year, I'm not so sure, because, like I say, we are in October as I film this, and there's only so many books I can read in a month. I'm just not a quick reader. So it might be that they end up going on next year's autumn list, but we will see. Then I went to the works and I bought this set of 4 books, and they were £20, and it's the Love Light series by B.K. Borison. I've and ahed over this series for a long time. It gets very mixed reviews. However, I really enjoyed First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, and I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to give it a go and see. We have Love Light Farms, which is set during Christmas time. We then have In the Weeds, which is set during the spring. We then have Mixed Signals, which is set during the summer. And then we have Business Casual, which rolls right back round to the autumn. So it's like one per season, and I'm really looking forward to reading them and forming my own opinion, because sometimes, you know, we do like books that other people don't. So then another book I bought from the works, and this is the last one I bought now from the works, is Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace. I've not read any books by Hannah Grace. I think it's like is it Icebreaker, Wildfire, or Lamb? I've not read any of them, but I love a good Christmas book, and this one just looks really good, so I bought this. Again, with romance books, I don't want to read the backs too much because I think they can give an awful lot away and it just spoils it. I know, going back to BK Borison, she has another book coming out for the Christmas season. It's in part of a new series called Ghosted, and I can't think what it's called, but I think it's like a Scrooge, A Christmas Carol retelling. I will pop the cover here somewhere if I can't think of the title, but I can't. It's completely gone out my head, but that is on my radar. So that's another Christmas book. So it's just how many, like I say, I'll be able to get round to. We now have 7 fantasy books, and these have been highly anticipated. So the first one is Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. This is her first adult debut novel, as far as I'm aware. I've read the Caraval series by her, and I'm just to read the novella in that series, which is spectacular. I've also started the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, but I'm yet to finish that. I've only read one book. But this just sounds really good, and it just says, it starts with a class in an old movie theatre, Folklore 517, local legends and urban myths taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the Professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. Her search for the truth leads her to a dazzling new world, a deadly ultimatum hidden at the heart of Los Angeles, and into the path of magnetic stranger who claims he's been sent to save her life. But everyone in this intoxicating new world is lying to her, even this stranger. And if she can't figure out whom to trust, her magical reality could change from a Hollywood dream to a nightmare. So I just thought that sounded really good. So this will be going on my TBR cart. We then have another book. Now, I've not really seen this anywhere. It is brand new out, and it is called The Ordeals by Rachel Greenlaw. Again, I just thought it sounded really good, and it says, Sophia de Winter has been bound to her cruel uncle, the Collector, since he exacted a blood bond from her as a child. When she learns of Kilmarth, an elite academy for magic wielders outside the Collector's control, she grabs it as it is her only chance to break free. Each hopeful must prove their worth by competing in brutal and deadly challenges, the ordeals. And that's just the beginning, because hopefuls are also being viciously picked off one by one. To survive, Sophia could team up with another challenger, perhaps a powerful wielder, Alden Locke, but how to identify an ally from a rival or even a murderer. So I think this is a bit of a romantasy. It's got obviously trials or challenges in there, so really, really looking forward to this one. I then picked up, which is all over YouTube, On Wings of Blood by, I think it's Briar Bolan. Please let me know if I'm saying it wrong or right. And this is it's set in an academy. It's called the Bloodwing Academy series, and this is the first book in it. And this just says, a half-A in a school of high-blood vampires. That's a recipe for disaster. I'm Medra Pendragon, last of the dragon riders, or so they tell me. Funny thing is, there are no dragons left, but that hasn't stopped the vampires from deciding I'm worth capturing. Now I'm stuck at Bloodwing Academy, where the high bloods run everything, and the Blightborn are just blood in their veins, pawns in their games. And then it goes on to say about another character and stuff, and I don't want to spoil it too much for you as well. But yeah, this sounds really good, and I think, again, it's another kind of romantasy, but we've got vampires and fae, so that is just right up my street. I haven't read a fae fantasy in such a long time, probably since I read the ACOTAR series. So if you have any recommendations for fae fantasies, I may have them on my shelf, but I can't think of any off the top of my head. Please do let me know, because You know, that's what we're all here for, to share recommendations and get them off each other. This is really highly anticipated. I watched Freya. I will pop her channel here somewhere. I watched her read this in one of her reading vlogs, and she's made me excited to read it, and it's called The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. This is a chunky book. She just made it sound amazing, and I just thought I really want to read it. So it says, after 24 years on the throne, it is time for Berson, the brusque Emperor of Oran, to bring his reign to an end. In the dizzying heat of midsummer, 7 contenders will compete to replace him. Trained at rival monasteries, each contender is inspired by a sacred animal: fox, raven, tiger, ox, bear, monkey and hound. An 8th, the dragon proxy, will be revealed once the trials have begun. 8 exceptional warriors, thinkers, strategists, the best of the best. Then one of them is murdered. It falls to the brilliant Nima Kra to investigate, but as she hunts for a killer, darker forces are gathering. If Nima succeeds, she could win the throne, whether she wants it or not, but if she fails, she will sentence herself to death and set in motion a sequence of events that could doom the empire. So, yeah. This, again, is part of the Eternal Path trilogy. It's going to be a trilogy, and I just can't wait to get stuck in. So thank you so much, Freya. If you ever manage to see one of my videos, I am super excited because of you. So the next book on my list, and I've seen this one a little bit on YouTube, but not a lot, and it is Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. I've not read from this author before. I believe they write very cosy fantasies. I just know it's a Snow White retelling, as you can tell by the front of the cover, and I really, really think I'm going to enjoy this one. Anything fairy tale based, and I love it. I think fairy tales just, I know they're a bit more twisted and dark, but they just take you back to your childhood, and that's always a good thing, isn't it? Or it is in my case. So the last, no, it's not the last, I've got another one after this one. The next book I bought was Diabound. Everybody is raving over this book at the moment by Sable Soren. I don't know if it's Sorensen or Sorensen, I'm not sure. I got the one with the pink cover, which I'm thrilled about. Pink's my favourite colour, and when you order these books off Amazon, you just get any colour. They don't let you choose, and I was so made up when I opened it up and it was pink, so I'm thrilled with that. The covers, I believe, signify the different packs, so I think there's a pink cover, a blue cover, I don't know if there's purple as well in there, but yeah, I believe they signify the different packs, the different Dire Wolves packs. But again, I think this is following the bonding trials. So I think it's compared to like Fourth Wing, where they bonded to a dragon, but in this they're bonding to a wolf. And obviously the story does differ a little bit as well. But yeah, I don't want to talk about this one too much because I don't want to give them away, really. I'm really frightened of spoiling it for other people. But I'm sure you will have seen many reviews on this book already. And then the last one, I've not seen this anywhere. I could be blind, but I've definitely not seen anybody review it. And if you have read it, please let me know what you thought of it without obviously spoiling it too much. But it's called The Dark Birch Academy. Now, I have just not ever seen this anywhere, and it says a twisted dark academia fantasy romance with dragons and witches. Now that just sounds amazing already. And then it's got at the top, if Voldemort had a daughter, you'd get Esme Salem, dark, sexy and unique. It's got loads of like good reviews. welcome to Dark Birch. Your next obsession begins now. It just says, dark mages don't deal in warnings, only executions. So when assassin in training, Esme Salem is tasked with infiltrating a magical defense academy and eliminating Kieran Mazrov, a deadly mage with powers that could erase her kind from existence, and it should be treacherous but simple. A poisonous jab to his throat, a garrote bracelet slit across his neck, no hesitation. What she doesn't expect is Professor Dane. Calculating, controlled, lethal in every line of his body, which emits literal heat when he enters a room. He's supposed to be an academic, but nothing about him screams scholarly. And the more she tries to pursue her mission, the more dangerous he becomes. She came to kill. She might just end up undone unless she can undo both predators first. So it just says prepare to enter the game if you like magic dark. Your men dangerous and your heroines delightfully unhinged. This one's for you. So I am really, really looking forward to it. And yeah, that was just a find when I was looking for like witchy stories or dragons, fae, all that kind of thing. This one came up. So that is my haul. I've got plenty of books to get through. I think now I have over 170 to be read on my TBR, which is a lot. And my aim, obviously, the thing is, and we've all been there, we all are motivated and excited by new books. They come out, we have to have them. We see people reviewing them, such as like I was saying about Freya before with the Raven Scholar. And she was so excited by it. And I thought, I need to have that book. And it's just that. And the fact that I've got so many other books sitting on my shelf still that I haven't read, that I bought when I first got back into reading. It's such a shame. So I think next year, I'm never going to be able to promise that I'm not going to buy more books because I just can't do that. And I'd be lying to myself if I tried to say I will. However, I am going to try and stop buying so many. And I think next year I've got a few ideas rolling around in my head, like TBR Takedown, my version of it. And we will see. But yeah, that's videos for the future in 2026, because we need to tackle the amount of books we've got here. And I just, like I say, there's so many books on your shelves that we don't get round to or we don't read, and then when we do eventually get round to them a year, 2 years later, we absolutely love them. And it's such a shame that we just didn't read them in that moment, but that's the way reading goes sometimes. Anyway, sorry for that waffling at the end. I just sort of wanted to say where we were with TBR books. These are now going to get added to my shelves or to my cart, depending on where I feel they fit. And yeah, then they'll be ready for filming my November TBR, which will be coming up. I think it's a week after this video. I think that's the plan. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I hope you managed to get some sort of recommendations out of the books I bought. I know a lot of them are popular and you've probably already seen them, but books like The Raven Scholar and The Dark Birch Academy and The Ordeals, I feel like they're not as popular, or I've not seen them as much over the internet. So yes, with all that being said, thank you again, and I will see you in my next video. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.